Hey everyone, what's up? Myself Diksha Shandil from Biotechnica, and today we shall be talking about one of the most different, you can say, or like very different or innovative topic, and that is how to become a senior scientist in the USA pharma companies. So, if you are already a scientist working in a industrial firm, working in a pharma sector, and if you want to become a senior scientist in a USA company, in a USA based pharma company, or if you are a researcher, if you are a postdoc, you want to know how to become a senior scientist, even if you are a master's or a graduate student and you don't know how to make your career progression in such a way that later you can become a senior scientist, especially if you are thinking of settling down in USA, this video is very helpful for you. So let's get started with the video. I hope you like the video at the end. So, the first thing, if you want to become a scientist, should come up with an idea why you need to become a scientist. Why should you become a scientist? So that question of why, the driving force inside you should come in such a way that you should be passionate about science and not only taking scientist or a scientific profession as a professional aspect. You should be very much passionate about the science and technology. So it's not a career alteration, it's not just a career choice, it's the passion inside you that is going to make you a future scientist. So that question why should always come in your mind, and if you have the right answer for it, if you really feel that your heart and mind is dedicated towards science, then only you can become a successful scientist. So never choose scientist as a career option, because if you want to become a scientist, you should be equally innovative, you should build an innovation, you should be hardworking, as well as you should be having a good team play ability. If you're having an innovation, if you're having an inquisitive mind with ability to hard work and an ability to team play with your colleagues as well as the professionals working in your field, then surely you can become a successful scientist in future. So let's get started with the video where I would be giving you some steps how you can approach becoming a top scientist in any US based pharma company. So if it is important for the students who are in their bachelors or masters who want to do their PhD, who want to do their further research continuation and want to become a senior scientist or a scientist in the field of pharma sector in USA, especially it's for you that you have to do a bachelor's, preferably masters. So if you're having a BTech and if you're thinking you can go abroad, you can go to USA and grab an opportunity of a pharma sector, then your chances are very low. You should have preferably a master's degree, or you can have a MS by research. If you have a BTech, you can go for MS by research degree, where you will be learning a lot about the research. So you'll have a slight research exposure also. Again, you can do MS by research either in India or you can go abroad. So it's better for you if you want to go to any pharma company in abroad, you can do your higher education in abroad only, so that it will be easier for you to collab and tie up. So if you're thinking of doing a scientist position in USA, you can do your masters in USA so that you will be exposed to the opportunities. You can also get a PhD. You can go to PhD either in India, you can go abroad, you can go to any country and then come back to US, or you can preferably choose US because you have been USA, you know the culture and tradition, you know the market, the life sciences environment, you know everything, you know the scientific approach. So if you're doing a PhD in USA, it will be helpful to you to acclimatize in the research environment there, and you will be knowing about the research perks as well as the contributions very easily. So you should do a master's or a PhD, especially from abroad, if you want to get settled down in abroad. So the chances of your being selected will be higher. Next point is you need to get your skill enhanced. Skill enhanced means that you have to have a proper certification, internship, as well as work experience in the relevant field, rather than just having a normal degree or a normal certificate from any normal certificate giving or internship providing platform. You shouldn't do that. You should always approach for the best. So if you are thinking of settling down in USA or grabbing any scientific opportunity in USA, you should do internship in the MNCs. So you're having a networking. You should do internship in the MNCs, the multinational companies that has been set up in the USA and then working in all over the world, or some other multinational companies which will have a clear access to the US companies also. They will have a collabs with the US companies. You can always do internship in those companies. You should do a certificate course for any reputed university. So you can do a certificate course, you can do a learning program, you can do an internship in any of the reputed universities. And the reputed universities, if you're talking about the USA, it is always Ivy League universities, that's such as Harvard universities, Massachusetts, Yale University, Brown University, universities such as Stanford. So these are the best universities. So if you are getting any internship, certificate, or a course, or even a diploma program there, always opt for that, because they are enhancing your career progression. They are ultimately helping you in giving you a better opportunity in future. So you'll always be having a perk over the other students. Then you can grab an advanced diploma or the certification course, again from any Ivy League universities, or from any university. If you are not the native of USA, if you are not getting any opportunity in USA, you can go to Europe, you can go to any other place. We can go to like Canada. You can go to any place, that depends on you. So you can opt for the Ivy League universities also, or you can go for any other universities that are best. Now the next point, gaining a research experience. Gaining a research experience is especially important if you are a beginner and want to become a scientist. So for a beginner who want to become a scientist, especially a senior scientist who want to go to the heights of becoming a senior scientist, it's important for you to gain research experience, especially if you have done your PhD. You can go for postdoctoral experience for that. You can go for any university or institution for doing a postdoctoral experience. You can either work in pharma sectors or setups to gain experience, or if you are currently working in the pharma sector, you should surely do that. You should surely grab the experience, because those experience is helpful for you to become a senior scientist. That experience will be calculated in a positive way if you want to become a senior scientist in the field of pharma sector in USA. So you can work in the pharma setups to gain experience, or you can contribute to research sector also. You can go for any like CSIR, DBT, or DST labs if you are in India, or if you are in abroad doing masters, you can go to any labs there which are good labs, the cancer biology labs or the computational biology labs or any biochemistry labs. You can go to the labs and contribute there. You can become a project associate there. You can become a like a research fellow there, and you can always contribute to the research sector, or you can tie ups with the lab and the academics if that's possible for you to tie up with the universities or the lab and academics, so that you can gain experience. So ultimately your motto is to gain experience in a positive way. So you will be gaining experience in all those 4 methods. Next is advance your technical knowledge. So if you want to advance your technical knowledge, it's important, because if you are trying to become a top-notch scientist, you have to always keep your technical knowledge up in your mind prior most, because the technical knowledge is the only thing that will help you in building a strong foundation, in laying a strong foundation in the field of scientific biology. So you should have prior hands-on experience. You should always contribute to the authorship and publications. You should be always willing to contribute to authorship, be it book publication, be it any review article. You should be always contributing, starting from your bachelor's. Start with your bachelor's, master's. Always attend international seminar as well as conferences, because they are able to, they are brainstorming your mind. You are getting a better better aspirant, you're becoming a better researcher. Then you can always, if you are, let's say if you're already working in a biotech firm, if you're already working in a biotech firm in India and you want to go to USA, then also it's helpful for you. You can become a guest speaker if you want to go somewhere. You should always be open towards opportunities. You should always attend conferences and seminars. You should always contribute to authorship and publication, which you would have contributed. Then you can become guest speaker also, where your work is to motivate the other students of the academia by your research work, by your research collaborations and the innovative mind. So guest, you can always come up with a innovative conclusion where you are helping others with your research knowledge. So you are gaining experience regarding that. You are gaining basically a reputation, and then that reputation is always helpful in getting any scientific position, any senior scientific position anywhere in the world, be it USA or anywhere. So next is build networking. Now you should always start hunting with the job perspective that you want, you should always start the job hunt. So for that, you should always build networking, because since you are in another country, you don't know much about the other country, or even if you are in the same country also, you should know exactly where to approach to get that position. So in order to get that position, you should always collaborate with the students who are working there, who are being taught in such a way that they are, they want to go for those companies. So there would be some students, aspirants also, there would be working professional also, who are working as a staff grade there. There would be always some scientists, junior scientists, senior scientists, you will find on LinkedIn, or you can find it anywhere, who will be working there. You can go to website, the company website, where you want to go and get a job. You can go to the company's website. You can find those people who are actively contributing as an administration, or as well as the scientific, the section, the departments. You can see the professors, you can see the scientists, you can see the professors who are working in a university and have a tie up with those companies. So you can always come up with the connection. You can always build networking by searching them. So you can build either LinkedIn connections with them, or you can go for any social media connection, Twitter, or any social media connection with them. Also, you can subscribe to the newsletters. So the foreign newsletters, the companies that they are providing, or there are certain employment apps that you can always opt based on the country, based on the place that you want to go. Let's say you want to go for Chicago, you want to go for Texas. So you can always subscribe to the newsletters specifying the place where you want to work, the companies that is good for you. Like you want to go for any food technology company, you want to go for a biotechnology company, you want to go for a, let's say, companies that are involved in let's say the in vitro management, like in the embryology, reproductive biology, oncology. So these are the newsletter where you can filter those opportunities, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. You will be giving a preference based on the first, the job profile, second, the job domain, third, the place where you want to apply in USA. So you can subscribe to the newsletters, and also you can search on the company website. So if you have a dream of working in the particular company, you can always go to the company's website, and you can see for opportunities. You can subscribe them through email, where you will be seeing newer vacancies available. You can always contact the professionals there, and you can have a connection with them. So this connection will help you in providing a pavement, a pathway. For that, you can reach and become a senior scientist, especially if you are working already. This will help you, this networking will help you in giving you a pavement towards the US top-notch pharma companies. Next factor, scientific approach. So again, if you are a researcher, you need a scientific approach. Especially it is important to the person who has been working in an existing pharma company and want to shift and relocate to USA. You should always have high impact factor papers. So if you're having high impact factor papers, you should have patents. So patents are really good, especially of international recognition. It's really good for you to approach, because you will be always getting a weightage if you're having patents. You can have collaboration with the researchers. Let's say if you are in India, you're having a collaboration with a researcher who is working in the same domain. You can have collaboration either through the research paper, contributing to a common research paper that you guys have published, or you can go through the department where you all are working together. You can discuss some new innovative ideas that will be relevant to your department, let's say cancer biology. So you can always collaborate with the researchers, and you will always get recognition on the basis of that. So these recognition is important. Wherever you are working, you should be recognized by your work. So you should be hardworking and determined, be it in India, be it any country. If you're working in an existing biopharma company, you should have recognition in that place. So even if you're getting recommendations, those recommendations are important for your further career perspectives, because recommendations will always give an insight about your work as if you want to become a researcher, if you are getting a position as a senior scientist, your previous workplace will always give you a feedback, and they will always encourage those feedback, because they want to know how you are inquisitive as a scientist. So it's important to build a scientific approach, especially if you are existing your job as a scientist in a company, or if you want to become a scientist also, then from starting only you should work on building your scientific approach. So these are the 4 factors that are important for you to become a scientist, senior scientist. Now the next thing is get a work permit. So getting a work permit simply states that you should have those documents done. You should have the documents, all the documents that are important for you to go and work at a particular place in USA. You should always be ready with the documentation processes. You should always be ready. You should, especially if you are getting an offer, if you're getting a professional work offer from any of the research institution or pharma company from the USA, you can always be ready with the visa, that is the H-1B visa, that is applicable for the nationals who go there, who are getting an opportunity there to work. So you can go get your visa. So your documentation process would be always in a clean sheet manner. Your visas should be in a proper, if you're applying for a visa, your document should be in a clean sheet manner, and you should get a visa. Firstly, you should get a work permit. So your visas processes should be done. It shouldn't be like you're sitting and you're imagining and then your documentation process is like over, you're not getting up to date with your documentation process. Then even if you get opportunity, you're not able to join in the time spent, then the opportunity is gone. So you should always be preoccupied with in your mind that you have to go. So if you have to go, you should always be ready. So even if you get opportunity and you have to join in, let's say 2 months, you are ready to join. So you should be actively able to join whenever you are getting an opportunity. So instant joining is also important. So you should be always ready with the document process, as well as you should put age as a priority. So that means that age is not a factor. If you go to USA, there is no such certain age limits that we found here. But importance is that your research work, your capability to work, your credibility somewhat gets affected by age. It's not as offensive, it's get affected by age. Your productivity will matter because you will ask for stability more if you are in a elder age and not the compassion. So your nature of being stable, it's a biological phenomenon. We all are human, we all are biological entities, so it's applicable for all of us. The time we get older, we want to get stable. So you should always put your age as a priority. So you should always put your age. That means that you should always do all the degree relevant experiences as well as the job profile in the time frame, the age frame that is suitable. You shouldn't sit and wait for so long and then grab an opportunity. Then your motivation will also get low. So your age should be an important factor for you. You should always try to deal with all the processes in the age that has been fixed, that has been applicable. Like if you're doing a PhD, if you're doing a postdoc, if you're doing anything, any research, your age should be in such a way that you are getting the maximum benefit in your older age when you have done so much of contribution to the scientific society. So you should always put your age as priority. You shouldn't delay yourself that I have age, that's why I'll wait for so long. No, you should always do something out of other thing, and you should put age as a priority, because later you will realize that if you're not putting age as a priority in your early days of your career, later you will regret. You will find that your job stability that you wanted to achieve is not as up to the mark. So always for your job to be up to the mark at your 50s, you should always start working from your 20s. So this is the guru mantra for it. So these are the tips and tricks where you can, these are the methods which will help you in getting any scientific position, senior scientific position also. Because for being a senior scientific position, there is a criteria. So you should fulfill that criteria. You should put your age as a priority. So if you're becoming a senior scientific position, going for a senior scientific position, you're contributing a lot in the younger age only. So you should always keep these things in your mind. Now comes, what are the companies where you can apply, those companies who can hire you as a senior scientist. So the top pharma companies in USA for senior scientists. So salary perspective will be always ranging from 16,616,998 per year, like dollars, or it can always range from 15 to 16. It will range. So it's almost 1 crore rupee. And the companies that you can, that are actively recruiting the senior scientists are Schrodinger, Gilead Sciences, Biogen, Pfizer, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Johnson & Johnson, Amgen, and then Celgene Corporation. So these are the companies where you can easily find any senior scientific position. They will always actively recruit, and they are good for the senior scientific positions in the departments available. So this is a supplement for you. And there's another video which we are going to make, the top 10 companies, pharma companies in USA. So this is the continuum with this the topic. So there you will find the top 10 companies where you can apply being a scientist or a senior scientist. So I hope you have liked this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.